Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this set of mini SpongeBob characters. We have a set of plushies here. Going from left to right, we have SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, and of course on the end we have Plankton. These are all of the little mini SpongeBob characters that I thought I should make. I thought I should stop at 6, and I think that I've covered all of the main characters. I'll be showing you how to make each one of these in order, starting from SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, and Plankton. You guys have asked for this. I made a little mini set of Avengers. If you want to take a look at those, you can check out the card system in the description below. And you guys suggested that I should make a set of SpongeBob characters in the same sort of way, so that's exactly what I've done. And without any further ado, why don't I actually show you how to make these? If you wouldn't mind, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like on this video, and if you do, and if this video is well received, maybe I might be inclined to do some other set of characters as well, from maybe your favorite movie, TV program, whatever it might be. Do let me know down there in the comments as well what you might want to see next. So the first one we're starting off is SpongeBob. For SpongeBob, we'll need red concrete, brown concrete, yellow concrete, white concrete, light grey concrete, black concrete, light blue concrete, and some quartz slab. We're going to start off by placing a base of 6 brown concrete in a row. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll stack another row of brown on top of that. Then on the next row, going from left to right, we'll stack 1 brown, then 1 black, 2 red, 1 black, 1 brown. We're going to place on top of the next row, we're going to place 2 white concrete, 2 red, 2 white, and the row above that is going to be the same. On top of the next row of this, going from left to right, we're going to place a white concrete, grey, 2 red, grey, and a white. On top of this, we're going to place a row of yellow concrete, and we're going to extend this yellow concrete towards us by 1 row, and we're going to go from left to right in front of this row. We're going to do 1 yellow, 1 red. We're going to grab a material that I have stupidly forgotten. I actually forgot the pink concrete. I 100% apologize. We're going to place 2 of those, then a red, then a yellow. On top of this row, we're going to place an entire row of yellow, but we're going to take the 2 middle blocks, extend them out, the left block and the right block, nose and cheeks. We're going to place 2 quartz slab underneath the 2 middle blocks to emulate SpongeBob's teeth, and then on top of this original row of yellow, going from left to right, we'll place a white concrete, light blue, 2 yellow, light blue, white. And for the next row after that, we'll add every single one of those blocks on top of each other. For the next row, going from left to right, it will be 1 black, 4 yellow, 1 black. To finish it off, we'll place an entire row of yellow, like this. So that is most of the statue complete. We want to take every single block of the head, or we want to rather take every outline block of the head, and we want to add an additional yellow concrete behind that to make it even with the first row, like this. And then we want to take every single block now, this square shape that we have, and we want to extend them coming across the back of the build by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want the same to be present for every single block. So we're going to extend every single one of these blocks backwards, each by 4. And then what we're going to do is we are going to seal up the head. So that means that we're going to be filling the back of the head in with yellow. We'll be filling the top of the head in with yellow. And that should be it, other than the sides, of course. We'll be filling every single side in with yellow. Then we can focus on SpongeBob's body. So we just have now filled in SpongeBob's head like that. The body. So let's come all the way down to the bottom of the statue. We want to take the bottom row of brown and extend it out the back of the statue by 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Add an entire row of brown on top of the outer row of brown, like a U shape. On top of the sides of brown, place black concrete. And on the back, going from left to right, you want to place a brown, black, 2 brown, black, brown to emulate his belt. We then want to make up all of the rest of the rows out of white concrete. This is SpongeBob's shirt. So this is SpongeBob's shirt, pure and simple, nice and easy, and that should make up most of the rest of the statue. To finish this off, SpongeBob has arms. We want to take the torso, the white shirt on the front of the statue. We want to take the top 2 left-hand white blocks and we want to extend them out the statue by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Place 2 rows of yellow in front of that. 1, 2. And on the right-hand side also. 1, 2. And then yellow. 1, 2. Then we want to come to the base of the statue. We want to take the bottom 4 left-hand brown blocks and we want to place a square of white and a square of black in front. And we want the same on the right, a square of white and a square of black. And that will give you SpongeBob. Lovely looking statue, looks awesome. I think that I've managed to embody SpongeBob quite nicely into these little restrictions. Let's move on to Patrick, because we don't want this video to take forever, do we? So, Patrick, we're going to need some lime concrete, pink, purple, white, some black concrete, quartz slab, and some magenta concrete. To begin Patrick, kind of like SpongeBob, we're going to start off with 6 lime concrete. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then for the next row, on top of this, we're going to go left and to right, and we're going to place 3 lime, 1, 2, 3, 1 purple, 2 lime. For the next row, 1 lime, 2 purple, 1 lime, 1 purple, 1 lime. Then do 3 rows of pink on top of that. That's 1, 2, 3. That's the body. For the head, we're going to add an additional layer of pink. Except, actually, the 2 middle blocks will be made magenta. I'm sorry about that. And we're going to, in front of this, we're going to extend the pink blocks outwards by 1 row, like this. So you can see the middle's magenta, and the 2 outer parts are, in fact, pink. In front of the top left-hand magenta, we'll place a quartz slab. This is Patrick's tooth. It also makes him exceedingly cute. We then want to place an entire row of pink on top of the row with the slab in it, like this. For the next 2 rows on top of this, we want to place, going from left to right, white concrete, black, 2 pink, black, white, and the same directly above, like this. Place 2 rows of pink on top, 1 and 2, and that is the front of Patrick's head. We want to come behind Patrick's head, and we want to make all of Patrick's head even. So we want to make it nice and flat. We then, that looks kind of creepy. We want to take the outer part of Patrick's head, and we want to extend it backwards by 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, every single other block. This is almost identical to SpongeBob in the same way that we're doing this. I mean, it is identical to SpongeBob. Every single one of these statues is supposed to emulate the other, if that makes sense. So, every single one of these statues, we do, in fact, want to be the same as the other, for the most part. The details of the statues are, of course, changed, but the structure is typically not. So we want to have a filled-in head like this. I'm sure that you guys will have figured that out, although I'm sure that I didn't actually say it. The next part is going to be to make Patrick's shorts. So we'll take the bottom row of his shorts and we'll extend them back out the statue by 3 rows. So that'll be 2 rows and then that'll be 3, like we did with SpongeBob. We now want to make up 3 more rows of, or 2 more rows of lime green in a U shape. So 1 row and 2 rows, like this. If you like, you can add some purple patterning to the back of Patrick's shorts, like this. You may even add some to the sides if you want, either just by adding a couple of dots of purple or by adding some diagonals. You can make it random. The rest of the back of Patrick is simply pink concrete. So just add all of the concrete on top of the previous blocks, and then we can move on to his hands and feet. So there you go. We have Patrick's body with his head. We'll start off with his arms. His arms, just like with SpongeBob, we take the top 2 left-hand pink concrete stacked on top of each other. We extend them left by 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then forwards by 2 rows. 1, 2. And then on the right-hand side also, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. With the feet, we want to do 2 rows coming out the bottom 2 squares of the statue, so that's going to be 1 row, 2, 1 row, 2. All of that's out of pink, as you'd expect, because of course that is a Mr. Patrick star. Let's get rid of all this, and let's move on to Squidward. So for Squidward, we're going to need even fewer materials. We need light blue concrete, brown, red, and white, I hope. And we're going to start off the statue with a row of 6 light blue concrete on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to add another row on top, followed by, I do believe, I hope that this measurement is correct, 3 rows of brown. That's 1, 2, 3. For the next row, place 2 light blue concrete in the center with a brown either side. Place a row of light blue concrete directly on top of that, and extend that row of light blue concrete out in front of the build by 1 row. Add a row of light blue on top of that. Take the 4 center blocks in a square, extend them towards you. That is Squidward's nose. On top of the back row of light blue, going from left to right, we want to place a white concrete, red. 2 blue, 1 red, 1 white. And then add an additional row of what you've just done on top. Add 2 rows of blue concrete on top of that, so that'll be 1 row, and then 2, like this. Perfect. We now want to do the same thing with the head as we did every other time. We want to add a row of light blue that outlines the head to make it even with the body. And then we want to take every row of the head, every single block of the head, and extend it back by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so on and so forth until you form the entire head. And then it will be completely filled in with your light blue concrete. I think that Squidward, out of every single one of these guys, is probably the easiest to make as he has the least detail. But I don't think you can blame me considering the fact that Squidward, I mean, the man just wears a shirt. That is all Squidward has going on. So we're just going to fill in the head like this. Perfect. Then for the rest of the body, we're going to take the very bottom row of the statue, extend it backwards by 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. We're going to place 1 row of light blue in a U shape on top of this, followed by every single other row being brown. So every single row coming all the way up to the base of the head wants to be brown concrete. It is as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. Easy as that. It's brown concrete coming all the way up from the base of Squidward's backside, basically. So we want to have something which should look like this. Now, for Squidward's arms. For Squidward's arms, we're going to, once again, it's the top 2 blocks on the left. We want to place 2 rows of brown coming out. 1, 2. 2 rows of blue in front. 1, 2. Same on the right. So 1, 2. And then 2 rows of blue. 1, 2. Then for Squidward's legs, they are only blue, and they want to be 2 rows of blue coming out of the bottom left, bottom right square. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that. That is wonderful. That is Squidward. We're halfway there, guys. Let's get rid of everything. Let's move on to Mr. Krabs. So, Mr. Krabs being one of the more peculiar characters on this little list of mine, and we are missing a color for Mr. Krabs. We'll need black concrete, blue, light blue, white, red, lime terracotta, and we will also need, as I said, I forgot material, I'm sorry, we need some yellow terracotta also. And we even need, I forgot so many materials here, we need some light grey terracotta as well. But at least we know that before we've started the statue. So grab all of these, and we're going to start off with a row of 6 blue concrete on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On top of this, we're going to stack another row of blue. Going from left to right on top of the next row. 2 black, 2 yellow, 2 black. Then 2 rows of light blue. 1, 2. Then for the next row, left to right, blue, light grey, 2 white, light grey, 1 light blue. Then a row of red. extend the row of red towards you and take the 2 left-hand blocks and starting from the left, going right, place 2 red, 2 white, 2 red. On top of that, place a row of red. Take the 2 center blocks and extend them a row in front of each other to form Mr. Krabs' nose. For some reason, he has a nose. For the next row, going from left to right, we want to do this 2 times, by the way. We want to place a white concrete, lime, 2 red, lime, white. And we want to add an additional block on top of each. Then, for the next row, going from left to right, we want to add a black concrete, 4 red, 1 black. To finish this off, an entire row of red, like this. Wonderful. Then, we want to add a row of red concrete directly behind the outer part of his head, like this. So, an entire row of red concrete going all the way around the head. Looks very creepy from the back. We then want to add 4 rows of red concrete coming out of the back of the outline of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, all of the other same blocks. I'm sure that you guys are becoming very attuned to making these now because they are all very, very similar in style, and that's the entire point. If I wanted to make incredibly detailed versions of these, I'm sure that I'd be able to, but I kind of like having all of them in the same sort of plushy style. I definitely like doing them this way. I'm not sure whether you guys feel the same way, but that's how I like these statues. So there we have the head, and then if we take the very bottom base of the statue, and if we add 3 rows of blue concrete coming out of the base, out the back, 1, 2, 3. Then we add a singular row of U-shaped blue on top of this. Then a singular row of U-shaped black. Then make the entire rest of the back of the statue light blue concrete, because that is, of course, Mr. Krabs', well, overshirt, I guess. I guess he wears 2 shirts. He has a light blue one on top, and he has a white one underneath, hence the collar with the white in between. But that is the base of his body. His arms are very easy. We take the top 2 left-hand blue blocks on the torso, and we extend them left each by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we do 2 rows of red. 1, 2. On the right, we do the same. So 2 rows of blue, 2 rows of red, like this, coming out as arms in front of the statue. We then take the very bottom of the left-hand side and right-hand side of Mr. Krabs' legs, and we want to place in front of these 2 squares 2 rows of red. 1 row, 2 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be Mr. Krabs. Round of applause. Moving on to the second to last one, we are going to make Sandy the squirrel. And to make Sandy, we're going to need light grey concrete, white concrete, red, brown, white terracotta, that's terracotta, pink concrete, black concrete, and some grey concrete, dark grey specifically. We then want to place a row to start this off of 6 white concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then add another row on top. Like that. We then want to, for the next row, going from left to right, and we actually want to do this a few times, literally for a few, 3. We want to do 2 white, 1 grey concrete, 3 white. And that is to be done 2 more times now. So grey concrete, and then white everywhere else. That's 2 rows. So we want to have 3 rows of this. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to place 2 white concrete, 2 grey, 2 white. Then for the next row, we want to place on top of this an entire row of white terracotta. Then for the next row, we want to take the, I forgot a material again. I'm so stupid. We need ourselves some quartz slab. And we want to place that quartz slab in front of the 2 center white terracottas. So in front of the 2 center white terracotta at the top. We want to place white terracotta left and right of the quartz slab. And then on top of the slabs, we want to place pink concrete. And on top of the white terracotta, we want to place white terracotta. Then for the next 2 rows, going from left to right, we want to place a white concrete, black concrete, 2 brown, 1 black, 1 white. and then add an additional white concrete, black concrete, and brown on top of the previous of each. We then want to add 2 rows of brown on top of everything, so that'll be 1 row of brown, 2 rows of brown, like this. Then, for the rest of the head, we want to place, where we have white terracotta, we want to place white terracotta. Everywhere else, we want to place brown, but it's the same deal. So we'll place white terracotta coming back from the white terracotta, but behind the eyes, the top of the head, we want to add an additional layer of brown, the same way that we did everybody else's. And then we want to take every single white terracotta and brown, and we want to extend the back each by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, if you guys get the idea. So white terracotta, we use white terracotta. Brown concrete, we use brown concrete. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the head is comprised of, and I don't know what else to tell you. If you want to add small details to these statues, by the way, I would highly recommend it. I was very tempted myself to give Sandy some ears. I was tempted to change Mr. Crab so that his eyes would actually poke up out of the statue rather than kind of like sit in his head as normal. And I was tempted to make like Squidward's head and nose bigger and stuff. But once again, like I wanted to keep them all the same style. You might not want to do the same thing. That's most of Sandy complete. Next bit is we are going to take the very bottom row of Sandy with our white concrete, and we're going to extend it back by 1 row, 2 rows, and of course 3 rows. We're then going to take the outer part of Sandy, and we're just going to add rows of white coming all the way up to the top of the base of the head, and that is going to be Sandy. So her suit is primarily just white except on the arms and legs, and that is what we've just done. We've now done her body. For her arms, you want to once again take the top 2 left-hand white concrete blocks on the upper left-hand part of the statue. We want to extend them left each by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. We want to add a row of red in front of that with a row of white in front of that. And that is one of her arms. Her opposite arm is the same. So 2 rows of white, row of red in front, row of white in front of that. Perfect. And just to do the legs here, we're going to place a red concrete in front of the bottom left-hand corner of the statue and the bottom right-hand corner of the statue. We're going to place light grey left and right of that. And on top, then we're going to place a row of light grey concrete directly in front of all of that. And that will form Sandy's boots. They have a little bit of colour on the side of them, hence the red concrete. Let's get rid of all of those. That is Sandy the squirrel, the lovely Texan that she is, and we're going to move on to the final character that I almost didn't add to this little selection, Plankton, but I don't know, I just figured I should add Plankton. Honestly, he just seemed appropriate. So I'm going to grab 4 Plankton, green concrete, red, white, and black. Plankton is actually not Patrick, it's Plankton, the simplest out of all of them. We're going to start off with a row of 6 green concrete in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to add 5 rows on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. We're going to add 1 more row. This is going to be the head. Extend it towards you by 1 row. For the next 2 rows going from left to right, do the same. You want to do 2 green, 2 white, 2 green. And that wants to be for 2 rows. For the next 2 rows, do the same thing. You want to do 2 green, 2 red, 2 green, and like I said, you want to have that for 2 rows. For the last row, going from left to right, you want to do 1 green, 4 black, 1 green, like that. Then we want to take every single one of the blocks at the back of the head on the outline, and we want to extend them 1 row towards us, like that. We then want to extend every single row of the head, including the base, backwards by 4 rows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, that is every single one of these blocks, like this. Every single one extended back by 4. And the way that Plankton actually differs from all of these guys is, I had to do this with Plankton, otherwise I felt that he just looked, I mean, he didn't look right. Is I gave him antennas. So I broke the mold a little bit with Plankton, just a little bit. I gave him his antennas because otherwise I thought that, I mean, he just looked weird, honestly. Like Mr. Krabs kind of looks weird, but Plankton looks weirder. without his antennas? His antennas are very simple. Somewhere on the middle left-hand side of the head, about here will do, we want to place this sequence of blocks. We want to place a green, black, green, black, green. That is antenna number 1. Do the same on the opposite side. So, green, black, green, black, green. Perfect. Now, let's tackle the body. We want to take the base of the statue. We want to add 3 rows of green coming out of the base. 1, 2, and 3. And then we just want to make every single block connect to the base of the head using green. Plankton doesn't wear clothes. That's all I'm going to say about him. So that's why he is completely green. Somebody should probably do something about it. He needs to get some clothes on. So once you've done that, we want to take the 2 upper left-hand green blocks and we want to extend them each left by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then forwards by 2. 1, 2. Same on the opposite side. We want to do 1, 2. And then in front, 1, 2. Like this. Then we want to take the base. We want to take the front bottom left and front bottom right. And we want to extend in front of itself. We want to do 1 row, 2 row for the leg. 1 row, 2 row for the leg as well. All green, all plankton, all of the characters have been complete. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial for every single one. It looks creepy seeing double. For every single one of these characters, I hope that you guys have enjoyed them. I really enjoyed making these. I enjoyed designing these. This is a little bit of a different style of tutorial. I've tried to do things a little bit faster because, of course, we do have 6 characters all in one go, so that's why things have been a little bit faster. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. It's a bit of a different type of video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you like the video, please do like it. Consider subscribing to the channel. Keep up with what I'll be making next. Very important, hopefully. I hope that you guys think that's important. I hope that you enjoy the content. Click the little bell if you do subscribe. Make sure that you got all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you do want to see more characters specifically, I did think to myself that I might, now that this is only a might, I might do the Guardians of the Galaxy because there's less Guardians than there are like Avengers, even though the Guardians are of course Avengers kinda anyway. And I was also thinking about doing Justice League. But if you want to see any specific characters, maybe even, I don't know, maybe even the Simpsons or something, I don't know. Let me let me know down there in the comment section and I might make them. Who knows? Check out the card system description below for things that aren't this. I will link you I will link you my Avengers plushies though as well. But I've been working on all sorts of other stuff. I mainly make houses and what have you. So if for some reason you've just discovered my channel through this video, then do bear that in mind. I do make all sorts of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Have a great day.